So thank you everybody for joining us this evening. It's 5:30 p.m. on Monday, 2nd of September, and this is the meeting of Staffing Matters and Urgency Committee. I'm Councillor Claire Douglas and I'm the leader of City of York Council and the chair of this committee. So we'll start first of all with any apologies. We have apologies from Councillor Pete Kilbane, and he has a sub this evening that is Councillor Bob Webb, so thank you for joining us, Councillor Webb. Other than that, there are none, and the first item on the agenda is declarations of interest. Does anybody have a declaration of interest at all? No declarations of interest. Item number 2 is the minutes of the meetings held on the 20th of May and the 5th of June 2024. Can I see if those are approved? Those approved yet? Okay, great, those are approved, so I'll sign those at the end of the meeting. Thank you for that, Reese. Next item number 3 is public participation. We have no public speakers today. So we will move on to item number 4, and that's the appointment of a new director for YorWaste Limited. And Helen Whiting is going to introduce us to that paper. So Helen, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm presenting this report on behalf of the Director of Governance this evening. As you're aware, YorWaste Limited is a TCAL company, and the current director, the officer, council officer, nominated as director on YorWaste, is leaving the council, so therefore will not be sitting on the board as our council officer. And this report simply looks at the resignation and appointment of the new director. The new director we are proposing is James Gilchrist, the Director of Environment, Transport Planning. He will report to the YorWaste board, which will follow this meeting. We're trying to get through, and the recommendations, as you can see at paragraph 10, is to appoint James Gilchrist, the Council's Director of Environment, Transport and Planning, and then the Board of Directors of YorWaste from and including from the 27th of August will appoint him, which follows the resignation of Neil Ferris. And this is to ensure that we meet our constitutional requirements and control tests in terms of TCAL arrangements. You'll see that there's no HR implications, there is no further payment that will be due on this, but obviously if there is any conflicts of interest, this will all be declared on the declaration of interest form, which all officers will be required to actually complete. This will then go on to shareholder committee, and it's all in line with the shareholder committee constitution as well. So I'm happy to take any questions. I'm probably not the best person to ask all of the legal side of this, but happy to take them back if there's any specific queries. But it's all very much a constitutional arrangement.
Thank you, Helen. Does anybody have any questions for Helen? Councillor Webb?
Just a very simple one, is that an intent that post will fill that going forward? So
Yes.
it's the next one, so it should be shifted back to that one.
Yes,
When the new director's appointed, it won't be going back to...
No, it's just simply a replacement
Yeah.
for new
It makes
terms,
sense.
effectively. Yes.
Anybody else at all? Okay, thank you. So the recommendations are on page 10 under page 12, paragraph 10. And that is to approve the appointment of James Gilchrist, the Council's Director of Environment, Transport and Planning, to represent the Council on the Board of Directors for YorWaste from and including the 27th of August, which was last week, following the resignation of Neil Ferris, the Council's Corporate Director of Place. So please can I see those in favour of that recommendation? Thank you. So that's unanimously approved. Thank you for that, everybody. Item number 5 on the agenda is the redundancy pension or exit discretion reports and updates. So Helen, please can you introduce that to us? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. So this is the new start report as we agreed from the last meeting, so everything is now in public, so you can actually see the details. The one thing that I'll just point out for you that paragraph 4 it talks about flexible retirement policy, so just for the committees and public's information, flexible retirement for any individual under the LGPS is about reducing by at least 2 days, which is plus 40% on a full-time post, and no more than 3 days. I just thought that was useful context for you, or 2 grades lower for a new job. In the last period, we've only had 2 approved cases, one for flexible retirement, and there's no costs associated with those. And then you've got the summary at the second box table on paragraph 7, other ones over the last 12 months. Obviously, these are anonymised. Anonymised, so I have to do with that word. So we can't actually identify because these are staffing issues, but you can see a rolling programme there. We are anticipating a number of other business cases that are actually just going through the process at the minute, so we'll come to January meeting and obviously a number of others. Predominantly flexible retirements actually, so hence why I get the context of flexible retirements. And I know Councillor Seymour was asking the question of, are we filling these posts in the other direction? For these two, no, we're not. We're going with it until the individuals have both said, one was 18 months, we're going to try and do something else within the area without increasing the costs, to try and work without them, and the other one was 2 years. So,
thank you, Helen. Does anybody have any questions for Helen on this talk, Councillor Ray?
Thank you, Chair. Just clarity on the new format. So the table at paragraph 7 at the top is things that have been sort of noted and agreed in this report. The second table is stuff that's already been into this committee.
yes, yeah. So it'll just be a rolling, so yeah, come January.
So the latest one is the next one.
Yes.
We'll get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
It isn't very clear. Or maybe I can get it, but
Right, okay. So it's approved in the last quarter, noting costs socially. I'll label the paragraph, label the tables.
Right, anybody else? Any questions?
I've just got one question. It seems very few. Is it slowing down? That's what we're saying. Is it
As I
slowing
say, we've
down?
got quite a few in the pipeline, but this time of year is always a slow time, to be honest. So yes.
It's just I'm used to a bit more with it.
Yeah, it's just ebbs and flows, to be honest.
Okay, thanks.
Right, so the recommendations are on page 20 at paragraph 11, and it's just to note the expenditure in cases that have been approved, and the report will be presented on a quarterly basis and updated as Helen has already outlined. So can I see those in favour of that recommendation? Unanimously approved. Very good, thank you very much. So item number 6 is the work plan moving forward. So we've got the 2nd of September meeting on there, which obviously we are doing now. Then the 13th of January is the next scheduled meeting, and those are regular reports. So I assume if anything additional comes in, Helen, that will be added at the necessary time.
Yeah.
Great, okay. Anybody for anything on this one?
Sorry. I was going to say, similarly, I know that we've got extra meetings, we need to actually call those meetings that will obviously be on the work.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Widdowson, did you have a question? No, good. Right, thank you very much. Right, so that brings this meeting to the end. Just to make sure we've got no urgent business. I've not been told of any. No, we have no urgent business. And that is the end of the meeting. Thank you everybody for joining us, and see you next time.